Hello princesses! Today I'm going to be talking about the Peripera Blur Pang Milk Blurs. I don't know what the pang means inside the title, so if you guys know, do let me know because I'm a little bit curious as to what that is supposed to mean. I have all three shades that this come in and I have them in the mini version. I managed to pick them up on Rose Shop and they came in the cutest little carry container, which was like plastic and cardboard, and pretty much immediately went in the recycling bin anyway, but it was really cute. They also came with a keyring as well, but I really enjoyed trying things in mini size. So these ones are 25 mils, whereas the full size is 50 mils. I think I saw Una apply these to her skin once and they made her skin look so pretty and dewy and just amazing. So they immediately went on my wish list, and when I saw them in mini size, I was quite tempted to try them because having them in a smaller size is a lot more economic for me as well as inexpensive. So I'm going to be reviewing these ones for you guys today. So the product description says, speedy tone up and blur effect cream that makes bright and correct skin tone. These primers come housed in cute little squeeze bottles that make it quite easy to disperse the cream. I have the mini sizes, which contain 25 milliliters, though the full size looks the same but bigger at 50 mils. There are 3 shades in the collection and each have a slightly different function, which I think is really cool. Peach has a tone up and CC effect with an SPF of 30 PA++. Peach is a light pink shade and this is the only one that contains an SPF. These primers are so easy to spread out, you only need a tiny little bit for your entire face. I do find that sometimes I get little streaks of the colour if I don't blend it out enough, but it's usually very easy to fix. The peach shade has the least amount of white cast, but it does make my skin look pinker, which I personally don't like. I only use this primer on the left side of my face, and once I apply the Peripera Cushion Foundation over top, I really can't see a difference. I think that the peach shade is really pretty by itself, and it does make my skin look a little bit pinker than usual, but it doesn't make a difference when it's used under makeup. Banana has a tone up and natural cover effect. Banana is a very pale yellow shade. This shade suits me quite well since my skin is already very warm toned. This shade has a strong white cast and actually does help to cover up some of the lighter blemishes. It doesn't look great if I use it just on my face because at the moment my face is lighter than my neck, so making it look even lighter just looks really silly. However, I love using this shade on my neck to match my face. I neglected sunscreen on my neck once this summer, but I tan extremely easily, so my neck is substantially tanner than the rest of my body, which does look bizarre. This primer can catch on some of the dry patches of my skin. I only use this primer on the left side of my face, and once I apply the Peripera Cushion Foundation over the top, I still really can't see a difference. I thought this primer would increase the coverage of the foundation, but it's really similar to the unprimed side. Since it's not a hydrating primer or a pore-filling primer, it doesn't really make a difference in that aspect, but I did think that one side of my face would be slightly lighter, but again, I can't really see that. Pure has a tone up and skincare effect. Pure is a white shade. This shade has the most white cast and is slightly hydrating. This is another shade that I prefer using on my neck and is the shade that works the best since it has no extra colours. It makes my skin appear paler, but with the same tone. I really like these tone up creams because they dry down nicely and they don't remove throughout the day, which is especially handy since I'm mostly using them on my neck. This means that they don't rub off on my clothes or pill up and look obvious, which is awesome. Again, I only use this primer on the left side of my face, and once I apply the Peripera Cushion Foundation over the top, again, I really can't see a difference. For me personally, these work best without makeup. Even with a strong white cast of my primer, I can't see the effect after I apply a foundation. Although I don't enjoy using these primers underneath makeup, I do actually enjoy using them on my arms and on my neck. My skin tans really quickly. I do have olive toned skin, so if I'm in the sun for even a short amount of time, I do tan really fast, which is kind of frustrating, especially when you get really odd tan lines. So my hands are actually much tanner than the rest of my arm is, but they're probably the tannest part of my body because I tend to wash them quite often. So I wash any sunscreen off, and if I'm driving, I can't exactly move my hands out of the sun, which is very frustrating. So in comparison to my face, my hands are like a completely different skin tone. Same with my neck as well as the rest of my body. This all matches, although sometimes my neck does get a little bit tan just from accidental sun exposure. So for instance, my brother got a new puppy in, I think it was December, and we hung out with the puppy outside for around about an hour, and I had my hair up in a bun. So my whole neck was exposed and my neck got really tan. But I was wearing a high-necked dress, so it was coming up around here. So my chest and my face didn't get any tan because my chest was covered and my face had sunscreen on. So I just ended up with this ring of tan, which just looked terrible. So in that instance, and I think I did record it and show you guys, I used the Blur Pangs to cover up the tan on my neck because it just didn't match the rest of my body, and I do sometimes use it on the backs of my hands, though I do wish that all of them contained SPF because that would be really helpful for me. Unfortunately, the only one that does contain SPF is the peach, and like I showed you guys, the peach does make my skin look a little bit odd because it is so yellow toned. Having a pink or peach tone on top of it does make things look a little bit odd. It's not the end of the world and it still does look okay, it's just not right. I think that once I use up all of the mini sizes, because they're only 25 mils, so I'm sure I'll use them up eventually, I would probably repurchase the Pure Milk Blur rather than the other two colours. I think that the banana worked out fine, but it did accentuate some of the yellowness in my skin, whereas the peach, because it was that random pinky colour, it just didn't look quite as good on me. Whereas the Pure is a natural, just white colour. It evened out the tan lines for me really easily and it just worked out well. I also love that they don't rub off on any of my clothing because you do not want a white ring. I think this is like quite funny for Westerners who use fake tan quite often because it's quite literally the opposite, but you have the same problem of getting like random lines and then random bits of either white or tan on your clothing. So these are definitely products that I recommend if you do want a really nice tone up effect or a really nice whitening effect, because it will make your skin paler. Thank you guys so much for watching this review, and I'll see you next time. Bye!